Okay, so I had to take the night to process everything that just happened in that movie. But now I'm ready. So I think the best way to go about this is we're gonna lay it all out. I'm gonna go from start to finish. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna see, because there was not a single scene, a single portion, a single anything that I did not like about this movie. It was everything I wanted and more, which is saying a lot because I was expecting a lot. So that's just weird. But anyway, so start of the movie, we see Diana. It looks like she's at the Louvre in France. That's what it looks like, glass pyramid. Might be wrong. It might be some other thing. I don't know these things. But it looks kind of like the Louvre. I don't know if she's actually working there under her guise of Diana Prince, and I don't know. They didn't really extrapolate on that. All we know is that Bruce Wayne sent her something. She's in the Louvre or a museum of some kind, gets the delivery, opens it up, and there it is. The actual lithograph? Is it lithograph, Mom? The actual,
Yeah.
Okay, the actual lithograph from World War I with her and Steve and these other people that we meet later on in the movie, but at the beginning of the movie, I didn't know who they were. And he has a little note that says, "Found the original, maybe someday you can tell me your story." And I can picture Batman saying that, and I'm like, okay. Anyway, so and it's great exposition where we actually get to see her, looking at it, and that's what, fast forwards us into, or rewinds us? Whatever, that's how we get into the story of Diana's story, which is really cool. And it's awesome. So, I guess first thing I'll really talk about is young Diana. Holy crap, could they have found a cuter kid? She's so cute. And she's got the little mini Amazon bracelets, so cute. And everyone's like, "Hi, Diana," and she's just running through the town, away from my teacher. Oh, teacher's finding me. Gotta run faster. It's just so cute. I love it so much. And then she's just like, "Oh, gotta run away." And she's like, "Okay, I'm watching them train. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha." And then you have I can never pronounce her name right, so please let me pronounce her name right. Antiope is just watching little tiny Diana and be like, she gonna be a warrior. And okay, so pause on young Diana for a minute. And let's go to the fact that, oh my god, is that a puppy? Sorry about that, guys. Thought I saw a dog. Just a really big squirrel. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the Amazons. They're Amazons. Not a single one of them was gratuitously skinny or anything. They were muscly and built and just looking at them, you're like, they can kick my ass. I'd let them kick my ass. Please kick my ass. Okay, I'm gonna try and articulate this. I loved how in the movie, in the fight scenes, there was no fight scenes with the Amazons that were framed or filmed in such a way that we're just like, oh look, they're sexy women. And it's like, no, they're kicking ass, which makes them sexy. But not for what we usually see in movies. Usually fight scenes, they're just like, okay, she lands heroically, let's zoom in on her ass, one scene that just blew my mind was when, it wasn't Antiope, it was a different blonde, that backflipped off her horse, and she had all the leather pleats and stuff of her skirt, which was a really long skirt for being a leather pleated skirt, and it just completely flips over her head, and she actually, everything was covered. We didn't see a single ass cheek. We saw ass, but not cheek. It was crazy. And then, all of it had a purpose. purpose, you know, where she was flipping off of it so that she could, like, get the bow so she could shoot, and it was so cool, guys. I don't know how to process this. It was too cool. It was too much. And Antiope, I loved Antiope, especially because she was older, and you could tell that she was older. She was kind of weathered. She had crow's feet. She had wrinkles. She had scars. She wasn't, like, perfectly molded to be like, she was a warrior, and you could just tell by looking at her. I mean, like I said, she had this huge scar on her arm. It was so cool. It was just... Okay, back to young Diana, because she's super cute and adorable. So we have her teacher, like, running through Themyscira, chasing her, because she's just like, man, I don't want to go to school. I want to be a warrior. So she's like, I'm gonna kick, I'm gonna punch, I'm so cute and adorable, and I want to be a badass, but not yet. So she's yet again running away from her teacher, and decides, I'm gonna get away by jumping off a cliff. Okay, Diana, apparently you've always been extra. So she jumps off a cliff. Is just like, and gets caught by her mother. And she's not like, oh, I'm sorry, mother, why was I doing this? She's like, hi, Mom, how are you today? Like, could you be any... While Hippolyta's just got this look on her face being like, good God, child. I just... Oh, and let's go over Hippolyta for a second. So Hippolyta is just... Like, she's such a mother, but at the same time, I'm just like, woman, let your child do what she wants to do. Like, I understand her reasoning, especially for what I learned later on in the film. I do get it, but I'm just like, I mean, Diana is just, she's gonna do what she gonna do. Like, you just need to accept this, Hippolyta, and just, like, let your child be the badass she meant to be. And I love the artistic interpretation when she was telling Diana their story. I really loved that, because I love things when they do that, where, like, a character's telling a story, and to make it more visually interesting, it's not just gonna be, you know, her sitting there telling Diana a story, because that's boring. You know, just someone being like, well, here's the story, blah, 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 blah. It's actually a lot more interesting for her to be like, hey, you know, here's this book that magically actually shows you what happened, in a way. And I loved how they kind of stuck pretty good to Greek mythology, where, you know, I mean, not really, but I do love that the mythology of it all was just so cool, where the Amazons were created to counter the, one second, guys. I'll be right back. No. Yeah, I for the last time, I don't need AARP. No. I'm 25! Well, ish. No. Just stop calling me. I swear, people are crazy. Anyway, where were we? Oh, that's right. Wait, where were we?
The story with Hippolyta and the book.
Ah, yes. Super cool. Where the whole point was that Ares corrupted men, and then the Amazons were, like, created to be the antithesis of that corruption, where he corrupted them with jealousy and greed, and they were supposed to be, you know, love and kindness and gentleness and stuff to counteract that. And I love that. Not exactly true to Greek mythology, but still really cool. Like, come on! That's awesome! But one thing that I can, kind of, I don't know, I really liked it, but I don't know, it was, I don't know, it just made me feel all the feels. I just really loved it. And can I mention that I was super impressed by the fact that the Amazons, now quite a few of them were, but not all of the Amazons were white. They were actually, there was quite a few different races of Amazons. I think the only one I didn't clearly see was probably someone of Asian descent, But I mean, there were all kinds of different races. It was fantastic, and I loved the one, like, freaking hulking Amazon that is just freaking huge. And I love that scene in the training where the girl comes up behind her and, like, hits her with a stick, and she's just like, like, what, really? You won't hit me with a stick? And she didn't even move. Like, that was so cool. But moving on, so and then we have, like, the intrigue of Diana, like, sneaking out of her bedroom to train with Antiope behind Hippolyta's back, which is super cool. I'm like, Antiope, you are everything to me. I love you. Like, it's just so good. Of course, we have the time lapse where Diana grows and they think she's probably closer to, like, teenage years in the second one. Sorry about the sniffing and stuff. My allergies are really killing me right now. But anyway, I just, and I love how, one thing I really liked about, like, how Antiope was training Diana is that she didn't pull any punches. She wasn't, like, taking it easy on her or anything. Like, she tried to just, like, push her down, like, trip her. Like, she was kicking her ass. But Diana was learning. And I loved that aspect of it. The fuck was I saying? Oh, the way she trained Diana. So I don't know, I loved that. And I loved how Hippolyta, and let me just also say this. I loved Hippolyta's outfit. How it made sense for combat, where, like I said, the leather things, like, they actually, like, were split all the way up to the hip, so she had a lot of free movement, but it was still somewhat modest for the Amazon garb, and, like, the fur and everything kind of makes her look a little more regal. So she definitely looked like, she looked different from the other Amazons, as she looked definitely a little more regal, a little more royal. But she can still kick your ass, and you can tell from looking at her that she can still kick your ass. Also, Mom, are you okay? Just a second. Mom, don't die. I'm gonna get you some water. You gonna be okay now?
Yeah, thanks for the water.
Alright, well, disaster averted. Anyway, so, Hippolyta looking regal, that's what I was talking about. But I love the design of most of the Amazonian armor, where you can tell it's designed for a purpose. It's designed for battle, where, and I just love it. Like, nothing they wear, even when I'm skipping forward a little bit here, even when they had Steve, like, in the council chamber or whatever, they had the senators who had their, like, big red cloaks and stuff. It's still essentially armor, and they can still kick your ass at any moment. And I love that. Because, duh. Anyway, so let's see. Oh man, it's so good. It's so good. So, we do another time jump, and now Diana is a woman. She's fully grown. She's got her own armor. She's kicking ass. She's throwing shields at people. She's using a rope, not the lasso, but a rope. You know, she's just kicking ass. She's just kicking ass. But now it's time for her to face Antiope again, with her mother overlooking her. So this is some real nerve-wracking shit. It's just doing pretty good. Like, I mean, I loved the fight choreography in this movie so much. Like, it's so good. Like, and it just makes sense where all of the Amazons, they all fight a little differently, but also really similarly. Where you can tell that they all have this very fluid fighting style that works really well with their physique. Because a lot of times, one thing I don't like so much in some other things is you'll have a woman who's fighting, and she's fighting like a man. Where it's all strength and power and aggression. Where women, we're more lithe and quick and agile and we move differently than men. That's just how it is. We move differently, and I love how they choreographed the fight scenes with the Amazon, and Diana in particular, that it made sense. Like, she can move that way. Like, she's not gonna fight like a guy. She's not gonna fight like a man. She's gonna fight like a woman. She's gonna be very lithe, agile, quick on her feet, moving here, moving there. Also, can we back up a bit and talk about the look that the little girl gave the camera when her mom's just like, only the fierce of us, only the strongest of us could wield the sword, or whatever. And Diana just kind of looks at the camera like she's on The Office and goes, bitch. Like, I love that look. I'm just like, I love it. It's perfect. It's so good. Okay, so that's enough on young Diana. So anyway, she's fighting Antiope. Things are getting severe, and she actually disarms Antiope. Oh, the crowd cheers. But of course, Antiope's just like, but of course, as soon as she disarms her, she's like, Mom, look what I did. And Antiope's like, bitch, don't turn your back on me. And it's just basically kind of bitch slaps her. It's just like, meh. Which I understand why Antiope did it. Especially because Antiope knew the truth about Diana, so she knows that Diana's biggest fight to ever come, her opponent is not going to let her have any type of free, anything like that. So I totally understand that. But then, of course, she does like the, and I don't know why it made me giggle so hard, but the little poof, poof sound that they did when she did that was just so cool. Poof, poof. It was so cool, and she's just like, the fuck? Which I love that, because a lot of times in superhero stuff, when they first kind of discover their extra normal powers, they're usually like, huh, cool, and then they just go about the day. But she was literally like, the fuck is this? It's so weird. Yeah, what's up, Mom?
Have you seen this picture of Katie?
Sorry about that, guys. My mom showed me a new picture of Katie McGrath, and I was not prepared. That was rude.
Sorry.
Oh, boy.